I'm Paulie with JP Cycles. We are down in Austin, Texas for Handbuilt Show. The show is going to be amazing. It's put on by Revival Cycles. There is every type of bike here you could think of, from crazy custom BMWs to old school panhead choppers. Follow along, you can check them out. The very first bike I saw when I got to Handbuilt was this Sportster right here. I noticed the air cleaner right off when I walked through the door. Well, I found Jeremy. He's from LC Fabrications, and he's the one that built this bike. Tell me a little bit about it, man. Tell me, you said you were making these air cleaners. Tell me about that.
I did. The air cleaner is the newest piece in my production line. The ham can air cleaner has got that cool, FXR vibe to it. But it's as big as the tailgate of your truck,
Yeah.
So I thought, well, a nice little shrunken version of it would be something pretty cool. Cut them out, and it's been doing really well for me so far.
Next thing I noticed is how your rear suspension's set up, the angle of the shocks. What shocks are those, and how well do they work being at that angle?
They're actually 03 Dyna shocks. They were too stiff at that angle, so I pulled them apart and put Sportster springs in them. Still a hair stiff. I'm talking to Race Tech a little bit about getting the right springs so they're just perfect. Right now it functions pretty well. The whole idea behind the swing arm and the shocks laying that way was to sort of mimic the early Vincents. They had a similar rear suspension setup.
I'm looking at it. Did you actually turn the rear tail section into your oil bag?
Yes, it's. I just made that from a piece of sheet metal, but that's the oil tank, houses the tail light and whatnot.
And well, Jeremy, it's a beautiful bike. I love everything about it. I wish you luck. So came up on this bike. This thing's super cool. It looks vintage as hell from across the room. Then you get up, you notice it's got a late model power plant. This dude right here built the bike. Tell us who you are and what made you build this thing.
My name's Michael Altman. I'm from Dallas. I was outside actually here and looking at the Wall of Death. Just the kind of the whole feel of that vintage vibe. I really enjoyed the way they look. So I decided that, I wanted something, but I wanted something that was reliable. I didn't want a 45 flathead frame engine. I wanted a Sportster engine, or even something different that I knew I could put in there, but still keep those classic lines. Everybody told me that I was never, ever going to get a Sportster into a WL. There's just no way. The ground clearance weren't going to work, the top clearance is going to hit. All these things were a factor, and I started doing the math, started doing a lot of measurements, just kind of bit the bullet.
Tell us, what year is the Sportster motor?
It's an 02, 1200. Everything on it is stock for the most part as far as the engine itself. There's nothing been done really to it. I just kept it simple. The Evo's rock solid, so wife messed with it. It's a good thing.
And what year is the frame?
The frame it's a WL 45 flathead frame. Now, it could be anything.
Several years.
Yeah, several years. They don't, the serial numbers don't matter.
Yeah.
They could be anything. I'd say 40s, whatever. I basically chopped it, the lower part of the bottom end here, where the Y comes in, and right behind the seat here, basically fabricated all this. The lower section here is an original Sportster subframe, but once again, I modified quite a bit to give it the look. I wanted the frame to emulate what it really was. If you were to look at it, like you said, it looks old.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. I use a lot of components too that are from the 40s. Front brake, obviously, handlebars, front end. That's an old Bates headlight that I just had redone. I made the seat and the P-pad. It's a Crocker taillight. It's an original J-slot air filter on a CV car. Yeah. I love the thing. I think it looks awesome.
Well, I got to say, man, it's a job very well done. I love the bike, and congrats. All right, guys, well, there you have it. That's a little bit of everything, man. Some amazing fit and finish, custom fabrication to kill for, man. This stuff is amazing. It's the Handbuilt Show, put on by Revival Cycles in Austin, Texas. If you get a chance, you got to check it out. Ride them, don't hide them, and ride it like you can fix it.